Now the third speech in the session will be delivered by Honorable Atal Mujib Rashid, Mubalik in Chad, UK. The topic is Khilafat-e-Rashida.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون. By the grace of Allah, I am greatly privileged today to speak on the topic of Khilafat-e-Rashida, the rightly guided Khilafat. Dear brothers and sisters, the institution of Khilafat is that blessed heavenly system of guidance which is granted by Allah the Exalted to a community of believers for their spiritual permanence and development. The significance of this divine bounty is like that of the rope of Allah. Firmly holding on to it is a verification of their belief as well as a guarantee for their peace, security and spiritual advancement. The blessed subject of Khilafat is indeed like a lifeline and a source of real inspiration. It brings with it a message of spiritual elevation which takes a believer closer and closer to Allah the Almighty and enables him to achieve the purpose of His creation. Without Khilafat, there is no life, no joy and no spirituality. And under the benign shade of Khilafat, we are able to enjoy all the blessings of this life with a sure guarantee of endless blessings in the hereafter. Khilafat is indeed a bliss unspeakable. It is like a mine of bounties which can never be exhausted. The subject of Khilafat is mentioned very comprehensively in Ayat-e-Istikhlaf, the verse of Khilafat in chapter An-Nur of the Holy Quran, which I have recited at the beginning. The translation reads, Allah has promised to those among you, that is the followers of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who believe and do good works, that He will surely make them successors in the earth, as He made successors from among those who were before them, and that He will surely establish for them their religion which He has chosen for them, and that He will surely give them in exchange security and peace after their fear. They will worship me and they will not associate anything with me. Then whosoever is ungrateful, after that they will be the rebellious. This verse contains most exquisite subject matters. In it, Allah the Exalted has made a definite promise for the establishment of Khilafat for the community of believers and has made it conditional to belief and good works. Two blessings of Khilafat are cited: firm establishment of religion and the transformation of state of fear into state of peace. It is also mentioned that the lofty objective and the sweet fruits of Khilafat are also twofold: true establishment of worship of God and the unity of God. The literal meaning of the word Khilafat are of vicegerency and succession. The Holy Quran has mentioned this term in 4 different categories. Owing to the subject of my speech, I will be concentrating on that category in which this word is used for the deputy of a prophet and his successor. The promised Messiah ﷺ says, the meaning of Khalifa is that of a successor who renews faith, those who come in place of prophets to dispel the darkness and that spreads after their era, they are called Khalifa. Regarding the necessity and the wisdom behind the institution of Khilafat, the promised Messiah ﷺ says, a successor is called a Khalifa. In fact, Khalifa is the shadow of a prophet. As no person can live forever, therefore Allah the Exalted willed to establish the being of prophets, who are the most eminent and the best among all the beings of the world, on a shadow-like basis till the day of judgment. It is with this objective that Allah the Exalted chose Khilafat, so that the world may never and at no time be deprived of the blessings of prophethood. Prophethood, the well-established way of Allah Almighty, is that for the guidance of mankind, He also sows the seed of divine message of guidance through His chosen prophets, and the stem of guidance begins to grow. The advent of these prophets is actually the first manifestation of Allah the Almighty. When the times of their departure from this world arrives, Allah once again demonstrates a wonder of His power for the completion of somewhat incomplete work of the prophets, to continue to nurture and to develop their work and to take it to the point of culmination. This is the sign of Allah's second manifestation in the form of Khilafat. Whenever Khilafat is established on the principles mentioned in the Holy Quran, it is always truly guided Khilafat. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu has listed the special features which distinguish Khilafat-e-Rashida from all other forms of governments. He has mentioned that Khilafat-e-Rashida is elective, and Allah Almighty has left the method of election open to the believers. A Khalifa is under the yoke of Sharia. He can reject the counsel of his advisors, but he cannot ignore the laws of Sharia. In all important matters, the Khalifa is bound to consult his colleagues, and finally he takes the decision under divine guidance. Since a Khalifa is the religious head as well as the leader of the obligatory prayer, he is morally and subconsciously obliged to lead a righteous path. A Khalifa is equal to other fellow beings in human rights as prescribed in Islam. As he is the component of the divine mechanism, a Khalifa has been promised a limited providential infallibility from major mistakes liable to bring about disastrous consequences. In such